Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today, I'm bringing you guys another debate slash discussion video based on the NBA. I got my guy here, Brandon, also known as Sam Darnold's forehead on Twitter. How's it going, my man?
Always happy to be on the show. The best part of my life when I get invited.
Well, I'm glad I can brighten your day. No, so today we're going to be talking about some of the guys that have straight up the ugliest jump shots in NBA history. We're going to do a top 5 list, and then we're also going to pick an honorable mention. Other than that, though, if you want, we could start with you and your honorable mention on this list, but you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. So for anyone who's seen the IRL videos on the channel, SMH24 is the ugliest jumper.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
That's harsh.
So for my honorable mention, I don't know, it's kind of like the two guys, Jeremy Sokan. Anyone like him that has to shoot with one hand, I just feel like something went wrong, and I don't understand how you're in the NBA and you can't shoot a free throw with two hands. So him, and I think Mason Plumlee, unless he goes lefty. But anyone who can't shoot with two hands on their free throw is my honorable mention.
Yeah, that's definitely a valid one. Both of those are really, because Mason Plumlee, his shot is ugly. I mean, I don't even know what he's doing. He did like the little Tristan Thompson thing where he switched shooting hands mid-career. But I guess my honorable mention, I don't have too many like really old players, but I guess my honorable mention is an older player, and this guy actually was a really good shooter, at least for his time. Shot over 33% from three over his career, and that is Michael Adams. This guy, most known for the Denver Nuggets, actually was in the three-point shootout in 1989. But I mean, if you ever watch his shot, he shoots it like a shot put. Like he like does a little skippity thing like with his legs. And I mean, I don't have like Dick Barnett on here. He also kind of did that, but I don't know. It's just like the form as well with the little leg kick, I think is what would do it for me to put him as my honorable mention. But I don't know. it's just bad. It's pathetic. I think I have a better jump shot than him. You might disagree, but if you want though, you can give me your number 5 on the list.
Yeah. So for my list, I really I feel like I would have to research a lot to find an old guy that is the ugliest jumper, but honestly, there's probably a lot of old timers with some pretty ugly jumper, considering the skill gap and everything. But my number 5, going with a classic, Joakim Noah. He's probably one of your favorites. So it's almost like Charles Barkley golfing, where he looks like he's struggling up there and he just doesn't even know how to shoot. And you know that it's probably not going in, kind of like Shaq and a few others. So I think he's a good option for this list.
Yeah, definitely. My guy Joakim is one of my favorites. So it's tough to see him on a list like this, but I mean, it's true. He doesn't have a great jump shot really in terms of how pretty it looks. But my number 5 actually is someone who played a few years against Joakim Noah in the NBA. Also a pretty household, bad-looking jumper, and that is Shawn Marion. I mean, the guy literally just shoots it with two hands. He flicks it so quick. I don't even know how he can get a touch, to shoot from three. And it really, for his career, shooting like 33% from three, that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, if the dude learned how to shoot the ball right, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'd be even better. But, I mean, I guess I can't put him number 1 just because, like, if it goes in, if it ain't broke, you know what they mean, you know what they say. So, yeah, and he was also a really good free throw shooter too. His shooting wasn't like insufferable to a way that like cost him a championship, because he did win with Dallas in 2011. So I got Shawn Marion as my number 5.
Yeah, I think when you think of a jumper, he's one of the first guys that'll come to anybody's mind.
Yeah. But for number 4, where are you leaning toward?
My number 4, I was originally going to go with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist on my list, but I ended up going off of him, and I'm going with the current guy, who's also not a bad shooter, and honestly it might just be my hatred towards him, or not my hatred, but he's not one of my favorites, is Jaren Jackson Jr. Just the way he shoots it, honestly, most people might not even notice that it's an ugly jumper, but he just like comes off the side, and it's incredible that he makes shots to me.
Yeah, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. and probably Tyrese Halliburton have the most just like odd looking shots. But I mean, they both make them. So I didn't have personally either of them on my list. But at my number 4, I had who you had at number 5, and that is my guy Joakim Noah. Also can't put him number 1 just because he actually wasn't a terrible mid-range shooter. He shot 70% from the free throw line in his career. But one thing that especially Stacey King, who's the Bulls commentator, he would always call him is the tornado over his career, just because the ball would like have such a weird spin on it and everything. So he kind of like built that nickname just because of his weird shot. Shoots it 2 hands, kind of like Sean Marion, but he puts a little like curve on the ball. So I mean, he does make it to a degree. Obviously, was never like a 3-point shooter like Sean Marion, but I got him at my number 4. But I don't know what way are you leaning toward on your number 3 selection?
So my number 3, honestly, I would never know that he has an ugly jumper, and I don't think anyone who's watching this video does. But as a Nets fan, as soon as he shoots it, I just know he's not making the ball, and it's Edmund Sumner. When Edmund Sumner shoots, he looks like a kid working his way to try to get it to the 10-foot rim, and it is just ugly. I know he's not making it, and it's not something pretty to watch to me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a sleeper pick because I didn't have him on my list or on my radar, and I feel like a lot of people probably didn't like coming in this video. Now they're gonna be looking up Edmund Sumner highlights, so you're gonna be jumpstarting that search engine. But my number 3 selection is also another former Chicago Bull, so it does pain me as a Bulls fan. But my number 3 pick is Bill Cartwright. I mean, the man literally shot it over his head, and he held it like this, and he wrapped it around or whatever. And I mean, my goodness, like it was just atrocious. I don't know how. I think his free throw percentage is like high 70s as well. I don't know how he managed to do that. The guy took probably as much time at the free throw line as Giannis does today. So, and on top of that, just an ugly shot. I have to put him at my number 3, but at number 2, where are you going?
The number 2 is one that you had on your list, and as I said before, when you think of an ugly jumper, he's usually the first name that comes to your mind, and that's Sean Marion. Sean is a fan favorite, honestly, and I don't know if he got that jump because of his ugly jumper, and everyone using him in 2K just so mad that the ball will not go in, even though he has like a B+3 rating. And my favorite team to use in 2K is that 2010-2011 Dallas Mavericks, and he kills me when I'm shooting with him because I know he's good and I just can't get it in.
Yeah, it's a quick release. It's like dude has like super quick draw or something. But no, my number 2 is actually someone who you didn't put on your list, but you did mention him earlier, and that is Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I mean, the guy brings his elbow all the way over across his body. It looks like you said, it looks painful for him to even shoot the ball. And I don't know how he grew up shooting the ball like that. I don't know, like usually like when you're younger, your elbow sticks like outward more. I don't know how he got to the point where his elbow sticks inward more. And even then, like it didn't help him shooting in his career because he's not a good 3-point shooter. He's not a good mid-range shooter. And overall, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just more icing on the cake for why MJ isn't a great owner, unfortunately. And it's another L as a Bulls fan on this list. But at least my number 1 spot, I don't think it will be an L for Bulls fans. But what do you have for your number 1 selection?
Before it's my 1, I think Michael Gilchrist took the beef too seriously, with the elbow in. But I think he's one of the guys that, like, as he got more into the NBA and he tried to fix his jumper, it just kept getting worse and worse. Like, I don't think he shot like that when he was in high school or whatever. But my number 1 is Kevin Martin, who is also, I'm pretty sure, a pretty good shooter. He averaged 20 points per game at some point, but his jumper it looks like he's getting out so quick, and again in 2K it's impossible to shoot with. So he's one that I've always known when I've been talking about an ugly jumper, Kevin Martin was one of the guys that I'd name first.
Yeah, I mean, the guy always shot like from his belt buckle. Like it was
Yeah.
always so low, and then it was like you said, it was like so quick. It's interesting you pick Kevin Martin because I don't have him on my list, but I actually at my number one spot I have a former teammate of his, and that is Chuck Hayes. If you remember Chuck Hayes, dude was like the smallest center in the league for years, 6'6", 6'5", or whatever. He had the craziest hitch in his shot, especially in the free throw line. Like I remember there's like an old clip of Allen Iverson like laughing at him because he's like, "Is this dude for real?" Like, I mean, I don't even know how he shot like 62% from the free throw line over his career, which, especially for traditional centers, which is kind of what he was, that's honestly not too bad, especially during that era. But I don't know, man. Chuck Hayes, he takes the cake for the worst, in my opinion. Maybe just those Rockets around that time. I mean, Yao Ming had to be one of their better shooters at the time. So, I mean, that only says a lot there. But I guess, I don't know, were you surprised by anyone I had on my list? Is there anyone that you would maybe consider that you didn't put on here? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with my kidd-gilchrist. I was trying to fit him onto the list, but I couldn't take off my 5. I just wanted to keep him in. But I think the thing with ugly jumpers is you expect big guys like Giannis and Joakim to have an ugly jumper. So it's the guys who are smaller, shooting guards, small forwards, that the ugly jumpers really surprise you.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the current guys that we mentioned, like Mason Plumlee, Tyrese Halliburton, Jaren Jackson Jr., those are probably some of the other ones I was thinking of. Also, Dick Barnett, just because he kicks his feet up so quick, and it's just a weird shot. But I don't know. Overall, these guys, I mean, some of them can actually shoot at an efficient level, so credit to them. But in terms of how they look, not so much. But overall, I think that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. You got any other final thoughts before we close this one out?
No, I agree with everything you said. Halliburton, didn't think of him at first, but his is something crazy.
Yeah, it's like his is a little bit, I think, like Michael Adams, but he doesn't kick his legs as much, so I had to put him in my honorable mention instead. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out. Peace.